Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, or Tank12, and today we are on what to expect once more, and this time we will be covering the E50M, one of the two German Tier 10 medium tanks, and this will be one of the last what to expect videos. We only have the bad chat and the T91, T92, not T91, T92 afterwards. And after that, I'm finished with the tier 10 what to expect videos because I don't have any more tier 10s. I think I will start with the tier 9s until I get the next tier 10, since I do have a couple of them, but I need to grind the credits to be able to do that, and that will take a little bit of time. So I hope you guys have enough patience for that. And yeah, so today it's the E50M. Next weekend it's going to be the bad chat, and after that it will be the T92, the Sky Cancer. So the E50M, let's see, how do you get to the E50M through the tech tree? Well, of course it's in the German tech tree since it's a German tank. You can just see the variety of different tanks the Germans have. Like, it's amazing. I think the Germans have the most tanks in the game. Germany and Russia, I think. Germany, Soviet Union, and America have the most tanks, but I think Germany has the most tanks in general for one nation. So, of course, you'll have to start with the light tractors, since everybody has to start with that tank. And there's either you have two choices, or you actually only have one choice. You have to get through the PZ2. And there you can decide to... no, you can't decide. Well, you actually have to go to the PZ2 and get the PZ3, then the DW2. I have not played the DW2 or the VK3001H. Well, I've played this tank, the VK3001H, but with the different turret and the 88 still on it. But I cannot tell you, since the patches have really changed everything around here. So you go through there, and then you have to go down the Panther line, and the Panther, these tanks from tier 7, tier 6, tier 7 to tier 8, they really evolve and change. You have to change your playstyle pretty much. The VK3002M, I have not played it, but I guess it is a sniper tank, as is the Panther. I played the Panther. That is a sniper tank where you have to stay in cover and snipe. It is not recommended for assaults and flanking, since the 76mm is so great. So this is a great sniper tank in my opinion. The Panther 2 is really different. This is not a sniper tank. This is a flanking and close combat vehicle. And so is the E50 and the E50M, but still they have pretty good accuracy, but we'll get to that later on. So E50, tier 9, and the E50M. There's a big difference between the Panther and the E50, mainly between armor, and you will notice another big difference between the E50 and the E50M when you get that, but I will talk about that later. So the E50, let's look at the stats for the tank. 2050 hit points, that is pretty much standard. I think it's 50 hit points more than the Patton. Let's look at the Patton. Yeah, the Patton has 2000 hit points, and the Bad Chat has 1800. So it's 50 hit points more than the Patton. The weight load limit is 67 tons. I have 62 tons, 63 tons on this tank right now, with all the equipment, ammunition, and all that stuff in it. So it's a pretty heavy medium tank. What does this tell us? Well, if you compare it right to the M48 Patton, it's 16, 17 tons heavier. And of course, the Bad Chat is lightweight to this. If you ram. Now, this brings us to another point. This tank has a lot of weight, and a lot of weight means that you can ram things. If you have the weight, you can ram things, and it will do less damage to you, but a lot of damage to the enemy. And ramming in this tank actually is quite a lot of fun. because mainly the speed is really important. You have to ram with speed, and this tank can get up to speeds, which pretty much brings us to the next point. The tank is heavy, but you have a 1,200 horsepower engine in there, and that's pretty amazing. It's the only engine, it's the only one engine for this tank. You can see that's 400 more horsepower than the M48 patent, but of course the M48 patent has to push less weight, and it's 500 more than the bad chat. This engine allows you to get up to 60 kilometers per hour, and this tank is really fast actually on the battlefield. With the traverse speed of 44, this tank can traverse really fast. You can travel around the map real fast with this tank, and you have the weight to ram enemy tanks. Of course, you should not ram E100s or E75s, but you can do it if it really is necessary. Let's say there's an E75 with 200 HP left, and you have to reload, but and you have to engage another target that's on your right, and you just ram him. You lose maybe 400 HP because the E75 is a little bit heavier, like 30 tons. But still, you manage to take him out, and then the other threat right next to you. So that's one of the nice additions to this tank. It's pretty unique for a medium tank to be heavy and fast and quite maneuverable as the E50M is. So that sounds pretty great. But what about the armor? This looks like a heavy tank. With where's all this weight coming from? Well, I think it's coming from the armor. The hull armor up front is 150 millimeters with a beautiful angle. It's angled perfectly. A lot of shots will bounce off this tank. Of course, not everything. If you expect to bounce a E3 shot right up front, I'm not sure, but you most definitely will get disappointed. But I mean, this tank has amazing armor for a medium tank for a tier 10. You have 80 on the side and 80 on the rear, which is of course not like the optimum. In the tier 10 everything is going to go through your side or rear, but that's what you expect in a medium tank. Up front you have amazing armor, and of course you can compare this to bad chat with no armor, but this tank is different. So of course you cannot directly compare all these medium tanks. The Patton, on the other hand, only has 110 millimeters of frontal armor, and it's not an autoloader. And so you see you have 150 up front, and you'll be able to bounce a lot of shells up front, especially from medium tanks. So if you're a tier 10 match with some tier 8s, tier 9s, you'll be able to bounce a couple of shots. And pretty much that's where all the armor, the weight is coming from the armor. So the turret armor up front. Well, up front the turret armor is 185 millimeters. The problem with the turret armor, in my opinion, is like a lot of skilled players, they know not to shoot a E50M on its plate, especially since the frontal plate is so well angled. They will shoot your turret instead. The one problem with the turret is that the turret has a 90 degree, almost 90 degree angle up front, so there's not a high chance of bouncing, except if he shoots, you turn your turret a little bit and it goes like right on the cheek here or this cheek. But most of the time they will go through your turret right here or here, and it's a big space in my opinion. That's one of the main problems I have with this tank, and maybe it will be rather more evident in battle when you see it. So turret armor on the side is 80 and 80 on the rear, which is pretty damn good still. If you go up against small little tanks, scouts, other medium tanks, you'll definitely have a blast with this, since you have great armor, great mobility, and just if you catch another medium tank off guard with this tank with speed, you can ram it first, then you shell his face with with your cannon, which will come right next after this, and you have the perfect armor up front. So which is all pretty nice. So this tank up until now sounds like one of the perfect medium tanks. Well, let's get to the gun, and this does not mean that the gun is horrible. No, pretty much quite the opposite. On this tank, you will get the 10.5 centimeter, the 105 millimeter KWK L52 ausfg gun. This is a 105 millimeter, just like any other tier 10 medium tank. Like there's the Chinese tank, which has 120, of course. The rate of fire is 6.2 rounds. Now this is where it gets interesting. So if we draw up the M48 pattern, which I will be comparing the E50M to most closely, you can see right here that the rate of fire is 6.25 rounds per minute. This is about 0.5 rounds slower than the M68 or M48. It's the gun M68, but the average penetration is 2 millimeters more. Of course, that's not a big thing, since 268, 270 is not a big difference. The damage output is pretty much the same, and the dispersion at 100 meters is pretty much almost the same. The only difference is 0.06 dispersion at 100 meters. The aiming time is 0.1 second longer, but still is pretty good. The weight load limit is, of course, it's heavier. And in this tank, you fire APCR, high explosive heat rounds, or high explosive rounds. So pretty much the gun is like the same gun as from the characteristics. It's pretty close to the M48, just that the rate of fire is a little bit slower and the dispersion is different. So this gun is highly accurate, very accurate gun. My reload time is 8.10 seconds on this gun, and it's really accurate. It's a fast firing gun in my opinion, and it does a lot of damage. The damage output is 293 to 488 HP, and most of the time you will be going at 370 to 450. You'll move in that damage range. So that's pretty good. The gun is good, and this pretty much makes the entire tank pretty damn good. Speed is good, mobility is good, the weight, you can ram other tanks, which is unique for medium at this tier. And yeah, so the only backside now, the turret traverse speed is 30 degrees per second, and compare this, it's 10 degrees per second slower than the M48 pattern. But it will not hurt as much, since you can still traverse your tank. You don't have the traverse speed of a M48 pattern with 50 degrees per second, but you'll still traverse faster. The problem is that I have with this tank mainly is just the turret. The turret is not optimal for this tank. You will get penned a lot on the turret, and the turret traverse speed should be better. But other than that, I have nothing to say against this tank. This tank is pretty damn amazing. And if you have amazing crew, this amazing tank, you of course need great equipment. And I decided to go with medium caliber tank gun rammer, vents, since I like my crew to be top notch, and a camouflage net. Actually, the camouflage net I just put on because I did not have enough money for anything else. If you don't go for the camouflage net, I would highly suggest to go for, well, you could, since this tank has really good aiming time, you don't really need enhanced gun lane drive, but that's of course not a bad decision. You could also go for the medium spall liner, since it protects you from ramming in explosives like up to 25%, which is a pretty good deal for only 200,000. Or you can go for toolbox, is always great if you get tracked, or you can go for the vertical stabilizer. So you can fire up to 20% more accurate at auto tank during movement and turret rotation, which will and is really useful on this tank. Actually, driving and shooting with this tank is not that bad since you only have a dispersion of 0.3 meters at 0.3 at 100 meters. So yeah, so let's look at my stats for this tank real fast. This is mastery. So the E50M, I have played 114 games. I think this will be at like 120 games when I finish with this video. And I have an average XP per barrel with a 753. I think this is the most XP I get in any tank. This tank is pretty amazing in my opinion. It is really easy to play, it does a lot of damage, and it pretty much reflects here. Victory 60%, a very high hit ratio of 83%. Damage ratio is 1.5 for the damage I received in cost. Destruction ratio is 2.18. Armor use efficiency is rather high for this tank if you compare it to the T34 or the IS-7. Well, IS-7 is a little bit different because the armor is way too good. It is 0.5 for a medium. That is pretty good if you compare it to the M48 pattern. Actually, it's better on the M48 pattern. Well, doesn't matter. So the experience is 753. That's for not using premium. I don't use premium pretty much. And the damage I cause to enemy vehicles during each battle is 2,811, which is in my let's see, wait, where is it? Which is in on my account the damage I do in a tank destroyer, which has a 155mm gun. So you can see this tank is quite the beast, since I can really play really well in this tank. And you can see all the awards he got. This is pretty much one of my most favorite medium tanks in tier 10. It is very deadly, very effective, and I think I should show you guys some gameplay of it. And that's what we will do right now. So just I'll see you guys on the battlefield. So as always, I have two gameplays prepared for you guys. One is on Lakeville and the other one is on Cliff. This is the first one on Cliff. And this should show you how you can play this tank. There are pretty much two play styles to this tank, either sniping or engaging close target. And the first one will be sniping, that will be covered in this video. And yeah, I'll try to point out the good things, the bad things, and the ugly things about the E50M. And you'll see it in how it works in practice. So you can see I'm still blue. That has to do with since 3 days, that video that I posted with the BT2. I'm blue since like 3 days now, and I haven't changed at all. It's weird, but whatever. So on Cliff, the map is usually played like the mediums take the E line from E3 to E7, and you try to engage the enemy tanks on the other side usually. Get early lights so that your heavies or tank destroyers that are coming in can shoot them from over here. Then the heavies or tank destroyers usually go with the 1-2 line or the 9 line, and they'll try to push around the corner there. Mediums like to go to F3 and F4 on the other side, and also on our side on E3, E4. But I don't really like those spots because I don't have enough cover there, so I always like to sit over here at the mount. So as already mentioned, the E50M is pretty much a very good all-rounder. It does have great accuracy, as you will see in a second right here. The gun is really nice, so that's why it's good for a sniper tank. You can see right there, I hit the VK, even though I was not fully aimed in. The aim time only is about 2 seconds. Now, the gun is awesome. The mobility on this tank is great too. You have speed and you have weight, so you are able to ram other tanks. I unfortunately don't have any video material of me ramming something. Maybe I'll have to look for that, but I don't have it in this gameplay. So the one problem that you will have with this tank is that its frontal turret the frontal part is really weakly, well actually it's not weakly armored, it does have 170 millimeters of armor, but the problem is that it's not very well angled. The frontal armor on the turret is pretty much just flat, so anything in a tier 9, tier 8, tier 10 can pen you through your turret if you're not careful. And the gun depression is not as good as maybe as on the M48 pattern, but you can counter gun depression and stuff with driving backwards and using something to elevate yourself. You can do that. I will show that in this game. And yeah, so this is one of the reasons why I hate shooting out of 7s bounce off their ass, which makes no sense. So pretty much, this game right here, I'm sitting at this spot. I'm very defensive. I use use the great accuracy of the gun to my advantage, and I try to lure them in, get them to get out and shoot me, so that I don't have to move out and shoot them. But you will see it won't work out that well. So the standard damage, I'll show you real fast. The standard damage is about 390, but you will get some lower rolls. I had 350, 330 from time to time, but you also will get 420 up to like 460, I think. So you can see I just put in a round into the Pershing. He bounced off my my side armor, no, my side turret, because he did not aim for my flat part right here. So that's that should happen. I think the Pershing should not have been able to pen my frontal turret anyways. So now I'm loading a gold round. Why am I loading a gold round? Well, it's only a Pershing. Actually, it's because I saw IS-7 passing through, and I'm expecting IS-7 to push now. And now this is weird. I'll stop it again. I'm sorry. I'll stop it when the IS-7 pokes around. Now, I got a gold shell loaded. It's a heat round, so it does have a pen of 330, which is enormous. You can pen anything with that. And now look at this. I shoot. He shoots at the same time. You can see his bullet or his round right there. There is my round. I hit his spaced armor. I do not penetrate him. Spaced armor, big bullshit on the IS-7. It's one of those weird tanks to shoot at. Now look at this. You can see, you can see the bullet or the round coming from the IS-7, and look where the hell he hits me. I mean, this makes no sense. He hits me on the top of my turret and it penetrates me. It should bounce off. Well, actually the top part of your, like there's no the top part of your turret or top part of your tank, actually there's no armor. It doesn't count as armor, but still, I mean, this is it's not like he's on top of me shooting down on me. No, he's like below me and actually shooting on top of my turret, which is really weird. And I think this should not have been a pen. Well, I take it. So you can see I did not penetrate him. He penned me, and yeah, that's well, the tanks for you right there. So as already said, the E50M does not have the perfect gun depression, and you will see that just in a second. I like to play, as already said, there are two play styles: aggressive play, where you push with the E50M since you have your great armor, 150mm up front, with great angled armor, pretty much, and you can play it as a sniper tank. And I tried in this round to support my team, like by flanking over here, and this would have worked a lot better if you had M48 pattern. So maybe this was not the best best thing for me to do in a E50M. So one of the big things you have to keep in mind playing any tank at any time is not to overextend yourself. I overextend myself in the E50M quite a lot because if you're going up against other medium tanks or even heavies, you do have this particular great armor and this great gun, and you can really, a lot of people will they will not be able to pen you if they shoot at your plates, at your armor instead of your turret. So that's pretty much what I'm going for, and that's why I overextend a lot of times, because it works out so well. So you can see right now I overextend myself right now There's a I know my team is trying to push this corner right there, so I want to support them while pushing. So there's still the IS-7 right sitting there, and he's I think he's waiting for me to poke out, so that's why I'm not engaging and moving out. So he backs up. I see my chance. I see object 140. I turn around. I put one into the object 140, and I think now that's where I overextended. I really want to kill the object 140, and you can see he's at wait, how much HP? 379. This should be a one-shot kill. I hit him only 354 a low roll, and he actually pens my lower plate. So that was not a good trade since I lost about 400 HP. So I want to finish him off, so that's why I lose patience. I want to kill him so that my team can finally push, because we need to win this round. And wait, I think it's going to happen right now. And yep. So he disappeared. I did not spot him. I only spotted him when he shot. And he pens my turret here, the flat part you can see. This is pretty much the most common cause of death in your E50M, next to RD or whatever. Of course, if a E100 or like if a E4 or whatever TD is shooting you, your frontal armor, they will probably pen, but otherwise a lot of other tanks will bounce off. So this is one of the most common deaths by other tanks. They will shoot your turret, and this turret is really weak. And yeah, you can see now. I don't have the gun depression. I want to show you what I did right there. So you can see I don't have the gun depression. I don't have the gun depression to aim. So what do? I keep on backing up and I shoot while backing up. I use this rock to elevate myself, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I used the rock to elevate myself, and I integrated it into my playstyle. So now pretty much comes the part where you can see the oh fuck, sorry. This is one of the things that is why I like the E50M. The gun is so reliable. You can see I only did damage-wise, the gun is not that much reliable, but you can see that accuracy-wise, the gun is very reliable, and I definitely hit the second shot on the T34 too. The gun is very reliable on long distances, and you will see that in the aftermatch scores. It will show there, since I did a lot of damage over 500 or 300 meters away, I think. And this is why I prefer like the E50M gun over the M48, I think M60 gun, because it's really, the RNG on the M48 gun is really bad. Like I mean, RNG is everywhere, but like on the M48 I have to feel that RNG is 10 times worse than on the E50M. Well, you do have a longer reload time than the M48 had. So you can see I'm putting some nice shots into the Centurion, doing more damage, like 424. More than standard 390. Take out the E5. And this is pretty much, I'm not sure if artillery would have targeted me by now, I would be dead. You always have to take that into account, but I always kind of forget it. So right there I see the IS-7 is aiming for me, and I got really lucky because he just misses me like by an inch or by like some meters right there. And yeah, pretty much this tank, since you don't really see how I use the mobility or the armor to my effect, this will come in the other video. The speed, you can use the speed to get around the map. You're rather fast, but you're a rather big tank. For a medium tank, your size is rather big. Let's check the size. It's almost of that of the E5. So you have to keep that in mind, that your tank is rather big. It's rather long, so if you're pushing, be careful. They can still get 1 or 2 shots into your rear armor, and that's not going to be a nice thing that's going to be happening to you. So right there you can see another nice example of the nice accuracy of the gun. The Centurion is almost dead. He's trying to push that fudge, I'm not sure why. And right there, the T54 actually penned me at that weird angle. I was actually almost facing 90 degrees to him, and I mean, That's weird. It's just I don't know. Wall of Tanks sometimes is weird. So now you can see the nice accuracy of the gun once more. I'm still able to put in one shot, even though he's already backing off and going down there. So yeah, I'm loading a gold shell right now because I don't want to engage the IS-7 with 491 HP and then run the risk of getting shot and not being able to take him out because I bounce. So I take the gold shell and I get distracted by the Centurion, which should not have happened. Centurion, I just wanted to shoot the Centurion there, but yeah. So the IS-7 comes around, and instead of pulling back, what would have been the worst thing you can do in this situation, if you pull back, he would just push around the corner and shoot you, and you would give him the perfect protection right there, the dead Lorraine. So what do? Instead of pulling back, I push up to the Lorraine, use it as my cover, and I pretty much aggravate the IS-7 so that he has to attack me, and he knows that this is game over, and I take him out. This was pretty much an unnecessary gold round, but still I wanted to be sure to secure that kill, otherwise I would have died, and that would not have been great. So I did 4,582 damage up until now. I will see how much I did in the end score. I think I still get one to the end, 53, 55. But I think the enemy artillery was not very active. I already took out 2 players. I'm not sure, but still, I'm happy with that. So, and funny, the E4 and the already take themselves out at the same time. So I did 5,000 damage. So let's get into the after game scores. So pretty much, I have to check real fast that I'm also recording. What did I do? So this is the wrong picture. So it was a victory. Victory. I'll stop this real fast. So it was a victory. I got mastery badge first class. I already have the mastery badge. Master, whatever it's called, Master Tanker, yeah, exactly. And I got 2 medals, or what, 2 achievements, whatever they're called, sniper, and I think something with damage. I'm not sure. So the credits I received were 75. That's why it's not that much. It was a victory, but still I did shoot gold rounds once or twice. And yeah, so damage was 5,404 in the end. I think that was I hit the 54 once or twice, and he was not lit. So I hit 100% of my shots, and this tells you pretty much the accuracy of this tank. It is deadly. It's dead on, very accurate, and it's very reliable also. The only problem that you may have is the damage output may not be as it is promised, 390 standard damage, but this is one of the problems that almost every tier 10 medium tank has, and you can see just the tanks that are all damaged. The Dev Summer IS-7 took him out, the E5 2 shots took him out, the Object 140 3 shots took him out. He took the most health away from me. I spotted the Conqueror. I hit the VK once, critically damaged something on him. Got the Centurion 3 times at least. The 54 3 times. Yeah, three times the 54. The M53 55. The Pershing 2 times. Well, which tank did I actually take out who was not lit? There was the 54. Well, I did a lot of damage to the 54 actually, so yeah. I got spotting damage 1,522 and 5,404, and yeah, my team was doing pretty good. I don't have any of that's pretty much it. I don't have any of the other team, and this is just pretty much the end. Damage blocked by armor 470. Yeah, that's not that much, since I was not really engaging close targets. I was just sitting there sniping. And yeah, I still got 1 bounce, but it was rather weak for the 50M, only one bounce. So from a distance of more than 300 meters is 2,400 damage, so you could see that the accuracy of the gun was pretty damn nice. And I bounced 3 times. That was, I think, only on the IS-7 and on the VK ones. So yeah. So this is pretty much the first game, and let's move on to the other game. So pretty much, this is Lakeville, and you can see we're going up against a good team. Of course, it's a tier 10 match, and this is not the very calm and patient sniper E50M. No, this is the aggressive, going up in your face, shitting on your face E50M game. So pretty much this is where you try to use your armor. This is the game style you can also use with the E50M, being a very aggressive pusher, and use your armor and ramming abilities to make the life of your enemies living hell. But of course, you can see the mistakes I did in this game. It is going to be very important that you learn from my mistakes I did in this game, but otherwise this was actually a pretty nice game. You will see what I'm talking about later on in the gameplay. So what I like to do in this map is I always go into the town, and you can see we have like 4 tanks in the middle, an M48 pattern, a T125, 2 tank destroyers, an E4, and the Object 704. And I have no clue why the hell we have so many people in the middle. Just to engage Amx 1390. No, actually I think the M48 pattern wanted to light something, but he decided against it in the end, and yeah. So I was pretty much the first guy almost in the city already, and I decided I learned from my mistakes that being the first in the city is never a good thing. So I just sat back and waited now a little bit. So that I don't run into a freaking ambush like I always do with all my tanks on this map. So I try to be more careful while playing world tanks. Try and use my HP as much as possible, and not to get to 0 as fast as possible. What I have done quite a lot of times. Like, well, 2 minutes in the game, already lost 1,600 HP, but still managed to turn it around in the end. That is some of the things I like to do sometimes, but I rather like to have 2,000 HP and be able to survive till the end of the match with 2,000 and not to pay any fees for repair and all that stuff. So you can see they only have like 1 or 2 tanks, so we only have 1 or 2 tanks in the valley, and they don't have that many either. So we're expecting the main bulk of their advance in the city, and of course 2 or 3 tank destroyers in their base, sniping and shooting all over the way. So I'm gonna stop it real fast. Now we have M103, E50M, a couple of heavy tanks over there, 2 tank destroyers and a medium tank, M48, in the city. And now check this out: focus fire, bam, and we're at IS-7 done. So pretty much we're trying to push the city right here, and I'm trying to be as least as aggressive at the beginning as possible to be able yeah. What was I trying to do? Well, actually I was just trying to survive at the beginning and not do anything stupid, and then take the situation and use my chances. That was exactly what I was trying to do, and now you can see the accuracy of the E50M once more, and that nice shot that I was able to put off right there. And now that was one lucky. Yeah, there was pretty much, I was lucky right there because I was not taken out by the 50B, and he did not focus on me. So you can see right here, the one problem you have with this tank is the lack of gun depression, and I was still able to penetrate the Object 140, well, mainly because I shot his upper plate. And now the VK has really weak turret armor, so I used that to my advantage, and I put 2 shots in. And I try to back off because he's trying to hit my turret, and I'm trying to play it really smart here. Use as much of this hill to my advantage as possible, and not to not to get hit by the enemy tanks. So you can see the VK pretty much is not doing too good. Already took away like 1,600 HP of him. He only has how much does he left? Oh crap! I closed the window. How much does he have left? 345, and this is exactly now. This is one of the things maybe that I did wrong in this game. You can see we have almost taken the city. Our tanks are stacked up over there, and this is Object 140, a very good player who still has some HP left, and I want to take him out. He only has 12% of his HP left. But what I did not take into mind, which is one of the things that I already mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that you can learn of my mistakes. And I did 2,385 damage up until now, but I did not keep in mind that there are two Jagzillas at J4. Now you can expect what is going to happen. Not right now, but it's going to happen soon. So somebody takes out the Object 140, and I'm engaging Centurion 7/1, and you can see now I actually bounced a shot on my turret, which is not that common in this tank. I think the Centurion is stock. I'm not sure. I have never driven a Centurion. And now you can see I'm pushing up and I'm bouncing off the Centurion because that was a bad shot right there. And now I'm doing something very stupid. You can see over there. I'm not sure. No, he's not aiming at me, but still, it's rather close. So you can see I'm pushing up. I use my armor to deflect the shot. You can see upper plate. That guy is never gonna pen my upper plate like this. With this angle, he will never go through my upper plate. I take a chance, take a shot at the E75, and this round, which actually should have been for me, was for the VK because he had lower HP than me, and this Jagzilla only wanted to kill. So I got lucky right there, but my luck will run out soon. So I've taken a shot, and he actually, because I was angling my armor really badly, this is one of the other mistakes, always face your tank to the enemy, gets me right in the side of my tank, and this is actually where the ammo rack sits in your tank, and this is really annoying. The ammo rack I repair, and I get hit from the back by a Jagzilla. I lose a lot of HP. I think I lost 900 right there, and now it's starting to get really bad. I either have to pull back or I have to push up. Since we're pushing on the other side, I think we should push up. And now you can see that that the E75 right there is facing not in my direction, so I think it's the perfect opportunity to strike. I take a shot at him, but I did not see the 57 that is coming around the corner. And now you will see the 57 to his defense, or to my defense. He's not a very good player. So if you're facing that good of a player, like statistic-wise, I don't want to be a douchebag or anything, he will a lot of times not know where to shoot you. And the E50M, you actually shoot a E50M on its turret or lower plate if you don't have the turret, but you actually always have the turret. So what does he do? He actually shoots my upper plate, and he bounces first shot. He bounces the second shot because the armor is very well angled. I take a shot from the Centurion on my side armor. He misses because I back up, and I think I will do this in very slow motion. I want to know where he shot me. The last round in the clip of the 57 actually takes me out. The question is, where does he shoot me? I think it looks like the lower plates. Yeah. So I'm loading right now. I'm wiggling. What I don't get though is on the other side, I was pushing here, and I thought that my team on the other side was actually helping me to push. I was just doing this because I thought they were pushing, so I could flank them and support them. But actually, they were not pushing. They were just sitting there like cowards. So be careful, always keep that in mind. If you have a team, be sure that if they're really pushing, that they are pushing and not just staying like this, because otherwise you will have a really bad surprise. So right now I did 3,851 damage, not that great, but this is pretty much a close brawl. Some shots that I should not have taken. But otherwise you could see the efficiency of the frontal armor if you advance on a target right in front of you. So you can see, wait, off the shoot. Yeah, and he actually hits my lower plate right there and he takes me out. So this is after I was bouncing 2 shots and he missed one, like right underneath me, he manages to take me out. Otherwise, in another tank, in the M48 pattern, I would have taken 1,600 damage probably, and I would be dead. But I survived in an E50M. I almost survived with 600 HP against the 57 by bouncing 2 shots. But that's pretty much luck. If you're going up against a good player who knows how to shoot your tank, especially if they're shooting gold or whatever, and they're shooting your lower plate or your turret, you will be done pretty fast. So, pretty much this was the end of the game. My team was still going up against a couple of tanks. We won this eventually, and yeah, this was expected that we win this. But I was kind of a little bit disappointed in my team for not pushing around that corner when I was pushing. And yeah, you always have to keep that in mind. Pretty much the E50M now. Get a result out of this. The E50M, it's one of the 2 tier 10 medium tank of the tanks, one of the 2 tier 10 medium tanks of the German line. Next by the Leopard, they could be not more more different than they are. Like, this is amazing how different they are. And it is a very, very special kind of tank. You have the ability to snipe, you have the ability to brawl, and you have amazing armor, frontal armor, you have amazing speed, you have an amazing gun, but you don't have that much of amazing turret. But if you play that tank, just imagine 3 E50Ms rushing the enemy tanks. You should be able to ram a 57 to death with 3 E50Ms. I mean, this tank, it's quite amazing. I really enjoy it. Maybe it's also one of the things that I have to say. I really enjoy the E50M. Um, and yeah, I think it's a great medium tank. It was completely worth my time, my grind. It's a lot better than the E50. The E50 does bounce quite a lot of shots too, but still it's not as reliable as the E50M. I have the feeling the E50M is just very reliable. That was missing at the E50 for me, pretty much. The E50 shots were not that accurate. I think the gun is a little bit better, even though it's the same gun. I have no clue. I think it's personal preference. And yeah, so this pretty much covers my E50M review. Um, I think this tank is definitely for heavy players, like for players that are just getting into medium tanks and used to play heavy tanks, like that are still very reliant on armor. Like maybe you have just done the German heavy line, the E100, and now you want the medium tank. That you will have the maneuverability, the speed, the agility, and maybe a good gun to be able, to do the tasks you were not able to do in the E100, to flank around, be fast, but still have the armor. I think that's a good replacement for those kind of players. Also for like a E5, for like people who had the E5, I think they will like the tank too, because the E5 has great frontal armor, but still the turret is kind of, you have that big weak spot on the turret, and that's the commander's hatch, and you do have a big weak spot on your turret, that's the turret on the E50M, so you kind of get used to that. But you do have the speed, you have the great gun, so I think it's a great tank. I am not sure if other medium players will like this tank though, because it's rather big. It's quite big. It's bulky, but it's fast. It does have a good gun, but the reload time is longer than like per se, let's say on the Object 140, where you have a great turret, like the Russian tanks have great turrets, and you kind of rely on the turrets, but you don't rely on your lower plate, on your armor. You just rely on your turret. You get into a spot where you can only shoot your turret. So this is maybe not the tank for these kind of players, but otherwise I think the 50M is quite an easy tank to play, quite an easy tank to master. You just have to keep in mind that your turret is not the most amazing thing there is out there, and that you don't have the best gun depression, and that your reload time is a little bit longer. Other than that, I think the 50M is a great tank and totally worth a buy. Totally worth my time, totally worth my grind. The entire line was a lot of fun to grind, and yeah. So next week we'll cover the bad chatillion 25 tonnes. That's 25 tons in French. And I'm happy. I'm looking forward to that, and we'll only have 2 more tier 10s to cover. So I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy this video. No, I hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you. I just want to say that real fast. Thank you for 151 subscribers actually. I will try to make a special video. I'm not sure yet. I have no idea how to do a special video. I wanted to do one on 100 subscribers, but I didn't. So I'll try at 150, I said. So I'll try. Maybe I'll post it next week. I'll find something. Don't worry, I will get it out. And thank you very much. I do really appreciate your subscriptions and the likes and the comments. And of course, keep the comments coming. I'm still looking for user requested videos. I'm still working on these. If you want, just write me a message on no, not on Facebook, on YouTube, and I will see if I can do that. I have a list of my tanks in the description below, and yeah, I'm happy to do whatever you want to see. So I'll see you guys later.